Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate how to make a fully lined pocket. Right now I'm making the pocket for the Hedgerow bag, but this is also the method that we use for our Bramble bag. So you'll need 2 pieces of fabric, a piece of outer body fabric and a piece of lining fabric. And your outer body fabric will be the same, both pieces will be the same width as your bag body pieces. And then however deep you want the pocket. For the Hedgerow, we have our pocket, this piece is 8.5 inches and the lining piece is 7.5 inches. You can make that pocket deeper or shallower to fit your needs. We've gotten a lot of feedback from various people, and we know enough to know that pockets are a very personal choice. So feel free to modify your pocket to fit your phone and your needs for whatever you're going to use it for. So we're going to take our, the one thing I want to note is that the lining is always 1 inch shorter than the outer body piece. So we're going to put our pieces right sides together, and we're just going to match up these long edges, and I'm going to use clips to secure them. And then I'm going to match up the other long edge and use clips again to secure. You can also use pins. My preference is clips. I just think they work better when you're sewing with thick material. Now I'm just going to sew these 2 pieces together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side. And I want to note that when I'm sewing waxed canvas and lining fabric together, I always sew with the waxed canvas on top because the lining fabric has a tendency to stretch and get a little bit warped. So if you sew with the waxed canvas on top, everything will stay in place really nicely. So I've sewn my 2 seams together. Now I'm going to finger press the seam allowances open just to get a nice crease. You can also use the iron. If you do use an iron on your lining, make sure you use a press cloth to protect it from the oil from the waxed canvas. Okay, so I've pressed those open. Now I'm just going to turn this pocket right side out. Now what I want to do is distribute the fabric so that there's about a 1/4 inch of waxed canvas wrapping over to what will be the back side of the pocket. And that's on both the top and the bottom of the pocket. So that it looks like that. This will be the back side of the pocket, and then the front side you don't see any lining. And then when you sew it onto the bag, you've got this little bit of outer fabric to make sure that you won't see any of the lining peeping through. So this is a really great, very tidy way to do a pocket. Ready to sew. The first thing I'm going to do is just top stitch 1/8 of an inch away from what will be the top edge of the pocket. So that's top stitched, and it only shows it didn't catch any of the lining fabric in the top stitching. Now I'm ready to sew my pocket onto my outer bag piece. So I've clipped my pocket in place and I've marked 1/8 of an inch away from the bottom edge, and then I've made a line halfway across the bag. So this will give me 2 even pockets. You can also make different divisions, again, to fit your pocket needs. So what I'm going to do is sew along the bottom edge, get to the middle, pivot, sew up to the top of the pocket, take about 2 or 3 stitches, and then sew back down that line in a parallel line, and then sew across the other bottom. And that double line of stitching to divide the pocket is just a really nice, neat, strong way to have a pocket divider. So I've reached the middle point, so I'm going to pivot. Just follow that line right up. Just right up to the top of the bag. To the top of the pocket. And then needle down. Pivot again, and I'm just going to take 2 or 3 stitches, just 2 I think, right along that top of the bag. And sew right down parallel to that other line of stitches. Just till we get to the 1/8 mark again. And I should note that it's very important to take your time on this part, because this is really visible, so if you have crazy stitches here, it's not going to look very good. Okay, so now I'm just sewing right along that bottom edge. And we're done.